The wins just keep on coming for the Bella Vista Lady Broncos. The latest coming last night in a 16-6 win at Christian Brothers, completing a season sweep of the Falcons. Regan Silvers continues her hot streak with another 5 goals to lead the way. She scored 11 in the last 2 games. And then, of course, there's Julia Thomas, Julia Thomas. She, along with Danny Janeway, added another 3 at 12-0 and 10-0 in the Capital Valley Conference. Bella Vista has the upper hand in the league standings by virtue of that exciting 11-10 win over Vista del Lago last Thursday. That one game is what separates those two teams in the standings. Tonight, the Broncos welcome Rio Americano to town for a Wednesday night matchup. The Broncos dispatched Rio 17-2 30 days ago in the first matchup. Rio comes into the game at 2-7 overall, which also happens to be their league record. They're a young team with 7 sophomores, 6 juniors, and 3 active seniors, along with 3 freshmen. Names to watch for include Isabella Chong and Stella Surza. Those are the 2 that scored against BV in the first matchup, and as well as their 3 captains, seniors Piper Price and Kiliana Sharp. Actually, only 2 of them are going to play. The other one is Ella Jones. EJ, they call her. She's their best player last year, but unfortunately got injured over the offseason and has not been able to play this season. So we won't be seeing her tonight. She did score 6 goals in the game that was played here last year. So she's on the sidelines. She's actually helping coach the team. But Rio Americano will be taking on Bella Vista tonight in ladies lacrosse, and it's coming your way right here on BV Live Sports. Hello, everybody. George Thorolson and Aaron Keogh. Welcome to Bella Vista Lacrosse here on BV Live Sports. Another big one for the Broncos. They're all big. You can't, and certainly, you look at the records, you figure this one should be a cakewalk for Bella Vista tonight, but you can't treat it that way. This could possibly be one of those classic trap games if you're not ready.
Yeah, I mean, every game here, I mean, that's the one challenge when you haven't lost is that typically, eventually, you're going to lose a game at some point. You don't want it to be tonight to a team that you should beat. So, yeah, they really need to be suited up and ready to go tonight and be ready to play.
Well, we've been watching Regan Silvers and Julia Thomas do their thing all year. Both hit the 100-goal mark this year, and Julia's got the lead in goals for the season at 48. But Regan's saying, "Hey, come on! I've been here longer. I need to be leading." And she's only 2 behind. She's scored 11 goals in the past 2 games alone. She's really been on fire lately.
Yeah, and what's crazy about both of those girls, both those players, is that, I mean, last night against Christian Brothers, they were being triple teamed, both of them, and they were still finding ways to score. So even when the defense throws literally the kitchen sink at them, they're still finding a way to score. I saw Julia pregame today, and I said, "How many goals are you going to score tonight?" And she said 100. So you can tell they're still hungry for more. They're not satisfied.
You mean we're going to call her 200th career goal tonight?
According to her, that's what she said. So
that'd be a record or something.
I think that would be a record or something. Yeah,
gotta love Julia.
Yeah, she's great.
She's just. Both of them, really. It's so much fun to watch them play. And kind of lost in the shuffle here is Danny Janeway, 15 goals on her own this year. She comes up big at times for him. Yeah,
you know, they really do a good job, and we've talked about this, but they do a really good job of not being selfish. And yes, it's true, Regan and Julia score the majority of the goals, but if you look at pretty much every game this year, you're going to see 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes even 7 offensive goals with different players for Bella Vista because of just the way that they move things around and the way that they do things. So Danny last night was key and you know, continues to be in every game that they play.
And then on the defensive side, and we haven't really talked a lot about the defense because Julia and Regan have kind of stolen all the headlines for this team this year, but Paige Martin is really quietly having herself a really, really good season.
Yeah, she is really an anchor on defense. I mean, when you look at, I think back to the Vista game that we did last week, so many times where the ball, things were in a flurry, and she's just steady as she goes, right? And either knocking the ball out with her stick, getting the ball and saying, "I'm getting it out of here," and running it up the field. And the other thing I think that sometimes goes unnoticed is her confidence, or I should say Elsie's confidence in goal, knowing that Paige will find a way to be open when Elsie has the ball to clear it. That's really, really a valuable skill, and that helps advance the ball for the Broncos so that the Julias and the Regans and the Dannys and Presley Rocker Hooper and everybody else could score.
Indeed. Let's talk a little bit about Rio. We mentioned the two scorers from the game earlier this season, the 17-2 Bella Vista win at the beginning of March. Isabella Chong is one of them. She goes by Bella. One goal against the Broncos earlier this year. She had 2 goals in the game here last year as well, so she's figured out a way to score against this team.
Well, and she's only a sophomore, so those goals last year were scored as a freshman, which is impressive.
Well, and it's always impressive to see. And again, I know that with lacrosse, unlike some of the other programs, there's no freshman level because
Right.
there just aren't the number of players
right.
yet. One of these days we'll get there.
That's our hope, yeah.
Especially with the sport seemingly growing around this area. But that said, anytime that you're a freshman on varsity, that's impressive.
That's a big deal. It is.
And then Kiliana Sharp, we mentioned her. She's one of the captains as a senior. The other player that scored against Bella Vista is another sophomore, and that's Stella Surza. She had the goal. She had one of the goals in the game earlier. So she's number 14. Chong is number 7. So those are two that we'll be watching for tonight for Rio Americano. Allison Curria is the goalie, and she was the one that was peppered by the Bella Vista shooting earlier this year. But she did make 10 saves in that game too. So so she'll be most likely the one that will be facing the attack from Bella Vista tonight.
Well, she will have the benefit that it's going to get dark here, and so you'll just be under the lights. For those that aren't around here, Rio Americano, they don't have lights at their stadium because they aren't allowed to play there. That high school is located in a neighborhood that didn't want that. So this game played 30 days ago was played at 3:30 in the afternoon as opposed to 7:15 at night.
And yeah, so it'll be the artificial lighting that will
That's right.
that will take heed. Well, speaking of Rio Americano and their field and things that were going on there today, the BV boys were over there today.
They were.
And they crushed them. 19-1 was the final score there. Don't have all the details yet. We'll have that in time for Friday night's broadcast against West Park. But the BV Broncos boys teams were winners today by a score of 19-1. So that's their 10th win of the season. They are 6-1 in league play, and they'll be taking on West Park on Friday. So we'll have that one for you as well. So right now they are introducing the Lady Broncos as Rio has just been introduced, and so we'll be getting this one underway in just a few minutes. This is the penultimate home game.
It is.
Just one more after
Senior
tonight,
night.
and that is a week from tomorrow. They're going to do senior night before spring break.
It's a little crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yes. Initially, that was supposed to be a doubleheader with the boys.
Oh, yeah. Did you find out what happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but I got the confirmation today that that the boys' senior night has been moved to Monday the 21st, which is the boys' final home game. I think what happened is Friday's game against West Park was originally supposed to be on the 10th. And then for reasons I am not aware of, and I still need to confirm, it got moved, and so they're not going to be able to do the doubleheader. Now, the girls' game last I saw, and pardon me while I check it, the girls' game next week against Roseville is still showing as a 5:15 start, which it was supposed to precede the boys' game. So we need to confirm whether that's actually still the start time for next Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, Roseville doesn't have a JV team, so there's not a JV game. But, yes, if they're going to – I would assume they'll shift to 7:15, but I don't know.
Unless Roseville was already couldn't make that
couldn't
adjustment
make the
because
time,
they
right.
were planning on the 5:15 start. So we'll see what happens. We'll try to keep you posted on all of that. Well, as the clock winds down to 0, we are about to get this one underway. The Lady Broncos of Bella Vista, who come into the game 12-0, 10-0 in league. Rio Americano, they're having a rough year, but again, it looks as though they're kind of in the building stages, especially with Isabella Chong and Stella Surza being sophomores. There's a good nucleus that they're building on for the future. So the teams are taking the field. And we'll just go ahead and double check where we are. Story Wharton's getting the call in goal for the Broncos. And at midfield, Paige Hackman, I believe that is Bella Chong, that's going to face it off, or draw is the official term.
We're underway.
And we are. Who wants this one? Julia Thomas. Who else would want it?
Of course she wants it.
And here's Regan Silvers.
Yeah!
And we got some Rio fans right below us roaring their approval. We're right below the crowd mic. Lulu DiBernardo, number 5, right there. Ooh, right out in front. That's Faith Whitty.
Broncos look to be in a man defense here to start the game.
Curling in right out in front. Pass is deflected. DiBernardo comes up with it once again. Extended possession here for Rio Americano. DiBernardo. Looking for some help. She's taking her time, very methodical right now. That's a loose ball, but they're going to scoop up. Alina Nassim, number 4. Nassim. She's out in front. Bernardo once again.
Broncos doing a great job on defense right now, kind of being an impenetrable wall, not letting Rio get within the fan to try a shot attempt.
And a player cut in front of the net that nobody saw. That was Bailey Bartlett that was right there. That once again is Faith Whitty. Front, right out in front. There's a shot and a score for Rio.
Well, they were methodical about it, and they were patient, and that patience was rewarded with the first goal of the game. And that's the one challenge when you play man defense, is that everybody has to do their job all of the time. And if somebody slips just a little bit, which in high school athletics is known to happen, if the person with the ball sees that slip, that's a pass and a shot waiting to happen.
Bella Chong with the goal. Her second goal against Bella Vista this year. The draw, Julia Thomas had that, dropped it, gets it back. Broncos work behind the net. Juan. Big night last night. Here's Presley Rocker Hooper. Silva tried to find Hackman. And another turnover forced by Rio Americano. Done a really good job on defense. Regan Silvers gets it back for BV. Bouncing ball to Lauren Juan. Juan will take it to a very familiar position for her, the X. PRH. I don't know if anyone else calls her that, but I do.
Has a good ring to it.
Silvers. Silvers gets free. She's got an opportunity. Kicks it over to Julia.
That was close. Hit the
Yeah.
hit the bar.
Broncos keep possession. This is Silva. Souza on Silva, or Surza on Silva.
Nice D.
Right off the face of Surza. And that's her with it right now. Broncos forcing back to the goalie. And that's Allison Curria that we talked about during the open. Got a whistle that will keep the ball Rio's way. Early on, 4.5 minutes into the game.
Oh, nice job. PRH, as you call her, dispossessing there. That was great.
And there is PRH. On the triple team. One's going to be able to chase that one down. So we're at 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Janeway. 3 goals last night. Loose ball. Julia's trying to get in there. She does scoop it up. Julia sitting on 48 for the season. Janeway double teamed. Janeway gets around. That one goes wide. Lauren Wan in position for Bella Vista. They'll keep the ball.
Broncos doing a good job moving the ball around, looking for openings.
Here's Thomas. Thomas looking for her opportunity. Left-handed shot. She scores. Number 49 for the season, Julia Thomas. And the Broncos are on the board. So it took them just over half the quarter to get on the scoreboard in their first tally. Broncos, by the way, with their win last night, make it to 12 wins, which surpasses last year's 11-win season. Best ever in program history. Scott Hackman has them definitely going in the right direction. Kate Hooper to take the draw. Hooper was going up against Alina Nassim. And this is Kate Hooper right here. Hooper on the move, weaving her way through. Kate Hooper with a shot. And this is now in possession of Rio. It was Curia that came up with it on the shot from Hooper. Loose ball. Broncos have it. This is Olsen. Olsen being forced now behind the net. Presley Rocker Hooper. Silva. Hardman. Had a really good night the other night, Friday night.
Yeah, she pretty much did everything on offense but get a goal. Really, really instrumental in helping keep the offense moving on Friday night.
Presley Rocker Hooper from the X. Curls her way around, looking for an opportunity, closed off. Now the Broncos will bring it back to the outside. Kate Hooper. Hooper making her move. Kate Hooper in, and that one goes wide. And Presley Rocker Hooper closest to the ball, so Bella Vista stays in possession. Couple of good looks for Kate Hooper today.
Yeah, she's had a couple really good. That one hit the cross arm.
Hardman looking to make her move. Hardman gets in front. Hardman has an opportunity, and she's going to draw a shot from the 8-meter line. Hardman, 10 ground balls and a forced turnover coming into this game. No goals yet. Let's see what she does here. Angle to the right. She'll feed it out in front. There's a shot and a score for Bella Vista. Danny Janeway.
Danny Janeway, assisted by number 4,
So the Broncos now in front by 1. That is Hardman's first assist of the year.
But again, that's what's great about these Bronco players. So you've got, Izzy Hardman wants to score. I mean, we know she wants to score. Her teammates want her to score. And yet, in the moment, the better play was to get the assist, which she did and executed beautifully.
Coaches recognize stuff like that.
They absolutely do.
And Izzy Hardman is a senior. This is her first year playing lacrosse. We talked about her during the postgame interview on Friday, how she had just an incredible year on the flag football team this past fall. Nearly 1,200 receiving yards. Broncos on the move. Here's Zia Martin who takes a shot. That one's deflected away. Or not deflected away. It's saved by Curia.
Well, and who fed Zia? Izzy Hardman, once again.
Curia lets this one fly. Silva was right there to deflect it, but Rio comes up with the possession. Rio had that long extended possession early in this quarter that led to the goal that gave them the lead initially. Since then, the ball's been kind of down on this end.
Yeah, the Broncos run, if you're a basketball fan, a full court press. That's kind of the mode that they run in. They're going to be all over you the entire game.
Emma Rowan jars that one loose. And here's Izzy Hardman again. Double teamed. Ball is out. Kelly Olsen's there, tries to dig it up, and instead Rio comes up with it. And Surza's dispossessed. Broncos come up with it again. Give Rowan some defensive credit there. And then a shove. Kelly Olsen can keep going. Immediately double team. They try and knock it loose again. And Olsen will take it back behind the net. Surza's on her. Martin is there to set a screen. We're going to get a restart here.
Yes, I think this is going to be from the 8-meter line.
But back behind the goal line extended.
Correct. Shooting space foul.
So Olsen brings it in. Right out front. That's deflected away. We get a whistle.
It's going Rio's way.
It's going to go the other way.
Yep.
Approaching 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. Kelly Olsen causing all kinds of troubles for Curia. The Broncos do force a turnover. Take Whitty now. Loose ball trickles right back to Curia, who will then launch it towards midfield. Raiders on the run. And Story Wharton comes up with that one. The shot's wide, but right into the possession of Story Wharton. 23 seconds to go in the quarter. Broncos moving back the other way. Janeway looking to go coast to coast. Reverses her field. She's right out in front. Janeway looking for her second. She's got it.
Bronco goal, number 8, Danny Janeway.
Second goal of the game for Danny Janeway. Broncos up 3-0. And for Janeway now, that's goal number 17 on the year.
Well, it's certainly a time there for her to be selfish like she was and just take it all the way because of such short time. There's only 9 seconds left. So, if you start looking for your teammates there and trying to pass the ball around, you're going to run out of time with no goal. So, flawlessly executed there by Janeway.
Kate Hooper again is going to take the draw. And she wins the draw and picks it up, and then the pass is deflected. That was some nice defense by Nassim as the quarter comes to an end here at Bella Vista High School. It is a 3-1 Bronco lead. It got dicey at the beginning with Rio Americano scoring the first goal of the game, but since then, it's really been all Broncos, and the play has been in the Broncos attack zone since.
Yeah, I mean, other than that initial, and give credit to Rio for that opening goal. I mean, they did a really good job being patient and waiting for Bella Vista to make a mistake on defense, and when they did, they capitalized with one of their scores we talked about at the beginning of the game, Bella Chong. But since then, it's been all BV. Broncos have done a good job moving the ball around, working on things that they want to work on, skills they want to work on, and mixing up some players as well.
So Julia Thomas scored the first goal of the game for the Broncos, goal number 49 on the season, and career goal, let me look at my numbers because I've lost count actually, career goal number 107 for Julia Thomas. Danny Janeway has 2 goals tonight, so she's one shy of a hat trick.
Yeah,
we're going to start getting into that conversation
That's
again.
right, yeah.
So we'll see if any socks or triple hatties are involved tonight. We'll see how far this goes here. But so far, a good bounce back for the Broncos after the first goal by Rio Americano. Defense has been good, but in particular, the offense has done a really good job of keeping possession.
Yeah, and it's really hard when you are specifically trying to work on things. And I know from talking to Coach Hackman before the game, he had very specific game plans on offense that they wanted to do. It's really hard to be disciplined to do that, especially when you find yourself, hey, we did what you said, and then we got scored on, right? But if you just trust the process and you just continue to work and continue to look for, ways to improve, the goals will come. This is too talented of a team for the goals not to come.
And it's interesting also for Bella Vista as we look ahead to the future. We talked about the game a week from tomorrow, the final home game of the year. They've still got 2 road games after that, and they also have, in fact, next week's game on Thursday, senior night, is going to be the second of a back-to-back, which is exactly what they're doing tonight. They played Christian Brothers last night, a 16-6 win over Christian Brothers last night, and then so we'll take a look at the the schedule here. So and the game on the 9th is going to be at Vista Del Lago.
Yeah, so I mean, big rematch a week from tonight, and then senior night the next night. And it also should be said, it's always more challenging to play a team in a season the second time, right? Because they know what they're looking for. And if you're Bella Vista, everybody is trying to unseat Bella Vista from the first place throne right now and atop the Capital Valley Conference.
All right, 12 minutes on the clock. Second quarter ready to get underway here at Bronco Stadium. The lights taking full effect. Story Wharton is in goal tonight for Bella Vista. Actually, she and Elsie Ballard split time in goal yesterday. Again, giving her the opportunity tonight. Raiders control the draw. And a whistle, they'll keep possession here. And this is Chong. And there's a shot that goes a little too high.
A little over anxious there.
But Rio keeps possession. That's Bailey Bartlett that will bring it in, number 2. Paige Martin with the defensive assignment. Whitty on Silvers. That pass is too tall, and that's going to roll out of bounds. That was not a shot. And so that goes over to the Broncos. There's Regan Silvers. Fakes left, moves right. Bouncing shot. She scores her first of the game.
Goal, number 12.
12th goal in the last 3 games. Regan Silvers, number 123 for her career and number 47 on the season.
The battle continues between Silvers and Thomas.
It's interesting on the boys' side watching Max Morris and Thomas Lonnie battle it out for the lead. Wonder what with 19 goals today for the boys' team. I'll be very curious to see who got how many of those.
How that shook out. That's right.
So
and again, you see Silvers there. I mean, had 4 Raiders on her at one point and still found a way to score.
Loose ball. Bella Chong controls for Rio. Paige Hackman chases her down. There's Woody. Awesome. Chong once again with the move, and that one saves Story Wharton.
Save by Story Wharton.
Sadie Keogh, first touch of the game. On the move. She prefers to hit people, but she does like doing this. There's a pass right out in front, and that's controlled by Curia, who will let this one go. She said as much.
She did.
Just likes to hit people.
That's right. Uh-oh.
Loose ball right out in front of the goal. Mia Hildebrand scoops it up.
And smart play to get it over to Story Wharton in goal. That slows everything down.
And that was really good defense on the part of Mia Hildebrand to screen herself between the ball and the opposing player. Because
Correct.
if the Rio player is able to pick that thing up right out in front of the goal, she's almost point blank. All right, so
Pass off the mark there.
we have to give credit to Ava Waldau. We won't be asking where's Waldau because she'll be easy to find. Pink laces on the shoes, and the shoes themselves have look like some pink and maybe some yellow to them. Very bright. So she's got herself a pretty good shoe game going. Rio with possession. Nassam to bring it in. Julia Thomas back in running defense. And there's Paige Hackman. Paige Hackman doing Paige Hackman stuff right there.
4-on-3 here.
Surza has her. She gets around. Pass is deflected behind the net. Surza trying to get it and ultimately does. We'll try advance it back the other way now for Rio. Woody scoops that one up. And here's Waldau with the cool shoes. Waldau picks it up once again. She has help behind the net, or at least momentarily did. There's Bartlett. Bartlett curls the crease. She's right out in front, but has her stick checked. And she's going to get a shot here from the 8-meter line.
Nice pressure, ladies. Good job.
Approaching 7 minutes to go in the half.
Nope, she went early.
So we'll take a mulligan here.
Go, Bailey.
Bailey Bartlett, angle left. She'll come in. Julia Thomas closes her off. This is Nassam on Hildebrand. Nassam gets free. Nassam right out in front, but again closed off. Good defense by Hildebrand. Referee holding a flag. So it looks like a pending penalty here.
12-meter line here.
So Nassam will line it up at the 12. She'll bring this one right in, be closed off. Forced wide and behind the net. So curl her way all the way around. Loose ball. Presley Rocker Hooper right there. Who's going to scoop this one up? Ultimately, it's Sadie Keogh. Keogh on the move, has 2 goals already. Keogh out front. Sadie Keogh is going to draw a shot from the 8-meter line. It's one of the another difference between the boys and the girls game, and we'll let Sadie take her shot before we talk about that. Waiting for the whistle. Keogh with the shot. She scores! Sadie Keogh, 3rd goal of the season.
Bounced right in there.
As if it was by design.
Yeah, that's
She's not messing around.
no. And again, I mean, this is one of the things that Sadie's one of the only defenders that'll do it, but that's another weapon that you've got, right? So you have a variety of attacks, you have a variety of midfields, you have defenders that are willing to bring it up. I mean, Paige Martin's brought it up several times this year as well. So if you're the other team, you got to kind of worry about everybody.
Kate Hooper again taking the draw for Bella Vista. Here's Nassam. Bartlett. Oh, check that. No, that's Leah Judy. Whitty. Closed off. Leah Judy. Hardman has the defense on her. Back to the X. Nassam once again has it. Goes forcing her out top. There's a shot, and that one goes wide. It's like Rio will secure the possession there. And they bring it back in. Here's Nassam once again. She's seen possession quite a bit. Here's Whitty on the move. Whitty's going to take a shot. She's going to draw a shot from the 8-meter line. That's Faith Whitty, a freshman. Doesn't look like a freshman.
No, she doesn't.
Ball, moves well.
But sometimes you see this when you are on attack, and if you start to, put the moves on, sticks get a little undisciplined.
She will set up at the 8, right out in front. She'll take a shot. Save Story Wharton right off the shin. What would the hockey announcer say? Kick, save, and a beaut.
That it was.
Here's Sadie Keogh once again. Is that one knocked away? Broncos will keep possession. 2:42 to go. Was talking earlier about one of the differences in boys versus girls lacrosse. One of the things is when you have the penalty and the penalty box situation in the boys, they play it like hockey. The action will continue until a dead ball or possession changes. Here's Kate Hooper. Hooper on the move. She scores!
Goal, number 13.
Kate Hooper! Makes it 6-1 in favor of the Broncos.
Well, and you start to get the feeling now with 2 minutes left before halftime, the floodgates have begun to open a little bit. Little tight there in the first quarter, getting going. A lot of time taken off with that first score for Rio, where they held the ball in the BV zone for quite a while. And now, with a 5-point lead, you start to kind of get that sense that any momentum that the Raiders had is starting to go away.
That's the first Kate Hooper goal I've gotten to call since the boys versus girls game last year. That was the only other one. I've known Kate since she was much younger.
It was about time for her to score, so that was good she got one.
Well, and she scored on the road this year, but that's the first one this season at home. Here's Chong. Chong looks like gray shoes. That one's loose. That one's going to roll out of bounds, and the Broncos will get the possession here.
That was all thanks to Paige Martin and her defense on that. So we talked about her at the top of the show. And again, once again, plays a big role for the Broncos.
Jilly Bunsey is trying to fight for that one, comes up with it. That kind of aqua green shoes going on. And, of course, the red and gray helmet. Chong with the steal. Bella Chong. Chong double and triple team, but shoots and scores. Second of the game.
I heard a whistle, though.
Or are they not going to give it to her?
Nope. No goal.
Okay, that's the other thing, what we were just talking about, is that they blow them dead right away when there's going to be either a flag, a yellow card, or a shot from the 8-meter line. Or the 12-meter line, for that matter. You don't see the extended play. There's a save by Story Wharton. Chong saying, why don't we have continuation?
Yeah, and the Broncos saying, well, that's why we don't have it. Yeah, that's a great rule, right? Because you go from it being 6-2 to 6-1.
Janeway. She's got 2 tonight. 30 seconds. There's a shot comes out. Curry equal to the task there. Silva picks it up. Silva, she'll take her shot. That one bounces over.
Very short time here, under 10 seconds to go.
Out front, here's Kate Hooper once again. That one's deflected away. And a whistle right before the clock expired. I think they're saying 1 second left. And Kate's going to get a shot here from the 8-meter line.
Yeah, anything within 2 minutes before the end of before halftime or before the end of the game is a stop clock if it's a shot in the fan.
And she's probably just going to want to wind up and shoot this because there isn't a lot of time here. There it is. And saved by Curria. And that should bring the half to an end. I guess they didn't put the time back on the clock. They just let it happen.
Yeah.
So we are at halftime here at Bella Vista High School. The Broncos leading this one 6-1. Again, it was a 3-1 first quarter, a 3-0 second quarter, so 3 goals in each quarter for the Broncos. 2 from Janeway, 1 from Thomas in the first. Silvers, Keogh, and Hooper find the back of the net in the second quarter. So that makes it 6-1 here for the Broncos. And one of the things that we are seeing, they won the first game 17-2. I don't know that 17-2 does them much good here. I think that one of the things that I think that as this lead expands, Coach Hackman's probably looking to kind of work on some things.
Yeah, I think that's how you get better. And the next game after this one is the big rematch at Vista Del Lago. So this team has to be ready to go for that. just scoring a bunch of goals to score a bunch of goals isn't going to do that. So I think you're going to see, even as we move into the second half, you're going to see even more change up, more discipline on running specific plays, more discipline on defense, all sort of in preparation. Not to overlook this game. We still got to finish the second half, but to get ready for the Vista game next week.
Should point out that goal differential is one of the tiebreakers that comes into play if there is a tiebreaker situation. Bella Vista can easily eliminate all that tiebreaker talk if they can get the win over Vista Del Lago next week, and also, of course, continue to win the other league games. But that's one of those things that also could possibly help them. They'll play the same league teams as Vista Del Lago.
Right.
And so the team, and again, I'm not sure where goal differential falls. I'm sure head-to-head is the first one, but if they're 1-1 and they have the same record, then you got to start looking at everything else, and goal differential is certainly one of the ones that comes into play. The Broncos, they're undefeated, 12-0. The first time in their history, I think, that they've been undefeated after 12 games.
Correct.
It would have to be, because 11 wins last year was a record for the program.
Right. Yeah.
So they're just continuing to roll. It's such a fun team to watch. It's so exciting to watch them play.
Well, and I think the other beauty of it is, for as good as they are this year, you could still find things and say, hey, we can improve here, we can improve there. You know, if you take this game in the first half, the draw circle, right? Controlling the draws. Bella Chong kind of has BV's number in that regard. And so getting the support, that draw is not just whoever takes the draw. It's the other players around that have to fight. So that's something that if I'm Coach Hackman and Coach Thomas, I'm going to say, hey, let's focus on that in the second half and really try to help out whoever's taken that draw, be it Paige Hackman or be it Kate Hooper or maybe even Julia Thomas if she sneaks in there. But, overall, though, really, really good. It's just so much fun to play because it's such a selfless team.
Looks like by design they're trying to get more draws for Kate Hooper.
Yep.
Obviously, she's a senior as well. She graduates this year, but you never know. You never know. Paige Hackman is the one is the key on the draw circle, but it's an opportunity to get some experience for some others because you might need them at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to think about somebody getting hurt, but that's a reality of the sport, right? It's a fairly not as violent as the boys, but it is still a pretty violent, and I don't know if you've ever been whacked with a lacrosse stick. I have by my daughter. It hurts. It does not feel good. So, if something, even if it's not an injury that's going to take you out of the game, but, you get hit and you go, hey, I need, 5 minutes. Well, you got to have somebody ready to go.
Right.
So,
indeed.
Yeah.
So far, we haven't seen Julia take any draws today, which, again, leads me to believe that they're trying to get Kate a few more under her belt as well. Just taking a look at the Broncos' schedule, as Aaron mentioned, on Wednesday the 9th next week, they will take on Vista Del Lago at Vista Del Lago. That's up in Folsom, and we will promote NFHS for that one, as they should have the live stream for that one. And then 1 week from tomorrow night, it is Roseville coming to town to take on the Broncos. That is showing as a 5:15 start. So we will take the air at 5:05. That is senior night at Bella Vista, as they will be taking on Roseville. It's the final home game of the year for the Lady Broncos, and it'll be their final game before spring break.
Correct.
As we will roll into spring break, and then after spring break, the Lady Broncos will have 2 games on the road on the 21st at Oakmont, and on the 23rd, a non-league affair against Folsom. For the boys, our next broadcast will be this Friday night, as they will be taking on West Park. The West Park Panthers, a team that prior to the season the Broncos had never beaten before, but they did so earlier this season. So the Broncos, coming off their 19-1 win over Rio Americano today, will be in action against West Park on Friday. And then for the boys, just taking a quick look at the schedule after West Park, they will be hosting Christian Brothers on Monday the 7th. They'll be hosting Christian Brothers. So we'll have those two for you, Friday night and Monday, right here on BV Live Sports. And then they are going to step out after spring break. Actually, before spring break, they do play at St. Mary's on Wednesday the 9th. And then coming out of spring break, they will be playing at College Park of Pleasanton
I wondered where that was.
That is one of those games where they were able to get that one on the schedule. A tougher team helped them kind of get an experience of what the playoffs may be like.
Yeah.
So that will be
great
on
idea.
April 16th. So that'll actually be during spring break. That'll be Wednesday, April 16th. And then on the day after Easter, the final home game of the year, senior night against Wood Creek. And then the last road game of the year on April 23rd against Vista del Lago. So that's what the boys' schedule is looking like. We're right down to it.
We are, and I mean, it's, the beauty of this is you have two teams with the boys and the girls that are both playoff contenders, right? I mean, looking very likely to be in the playoffs. And, since you and I, George, did football season together, I mean, this is like the complete opposite of football.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so for a lot of sports at BV, there are some exceptions, cross country, track and field, wrestling, and lacrosse, where they really, really excel. And so it's really fun to be able to bring this to the masses.
So we will obviously follow the team until the end of the season, but want to let you know that even when there are home games in the playoffs, it's possible that we won't be able to stream those because of playoff streaming rights possibly held by others. We will double check that for you and find out. But I know NFHS does have exclusive on a lot of things. We'll see if lacrosse is one of them. All right, let's get the third quarter underway here. Paige Hackman back in to take the draw. Is she drawing against Whitty? Yes, she is. Okay, so. Get a whistle on the draw. Are we going to do this again, or is this no? This is going to go
Rio's way.
And they will have to start from the center court circle. Whitty will do the honors right here. Immediately double teamed by the Broncos. So Rio Americano scored first in this game, but it's been all Broncos ever since. 5-goal lead. Here's Chong. We're going to be seeing her for the next couple of years.
Oh, that was beautiful by Paige Hackman.
And here's the future PLU Loot, Paige Hackman. She'll be playing at the next level next year up in Tacoma, Washington.
And both she and her parents are thrilled for that opportunity for her. Really looking forward to being able to watch her at the next level.
Technically, it's Parkland, Washington, right outside of Tacoma. Show my knowledge of that area.
Your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, I haven't been to the PLU campus, but yeah, I grew up in Seattle. Danny Janeway will get a shot from the 8-meter line.
Looking at maybe a hat trick here if she takes a shot. We'll see.
We'll see. Are they going to back her out to the 12? Looks like they're going to back her out.
Well, less likely for the hat trick from there.
Went a little bit wide of Julia Thomas. Paige Hackman's going to chase it down. It's a lot more difficult to pick those up when you've got somebody else trying to fight for it. Hackman. Janeway. And here's Lauren Wan. And Presley Rocker Hooper working it from the X. Broncos calling out yellow, taking their time. Here's Julia. Julia sitting on 49. She'll take a shot. Saved by Curia. And Presley Rocker Hooper will secure possession for Bella Vista. Juan. Closed off. Surza has the defense. Been very impressed with Juan this year. Here's Julia, swinging shot underneath, scores number 50 on the season for Julia Thomas.
And just like you started to say there about Lauren Wan having an impressive season, give the assist to her.
Absolutely. So for Julia Thomas, as a sophomore, She's only played 2 seasons so far, and not even a full 2 seasons. And she's hit 50 goals 50-plus goals, because we know she'll have more.
Yeah, she'll have
she had
more.
58 last year. And with 5:20 or 9:24 to go in the third quarter, Bella Vista is now up by a 7-1 score. So Julia, by the way, 2 goals tonight. She's 98 shy of what she says she's going to score tonight.
That's right. She said 100 before the game. So.
Well, here's a chance at number 3. Julia dumps it in front. Lauren Wan, but a great save by Curia.
Oh, that would have been beautiful if she repaid the favor to Lauren Wan after Lauren just dished it to her. Oh,
Lauren was in great position.
She
there.
was. That was almost the making of an excellent movie.
PRH. And here is Wan. And Wan's been very impressive this year. Looking forward to more to come for Lauren Wan, who is a junior. We will certainly see her next year. And we will see Regan Silvers next year, and we will certainly see Julia Thomas next year. And Janeway's going to earn a shot from the 8-meter line, and this time it will be from the 8.
All right. See if she can get that hat trick. Everybody getting into position.
Janeway winds up, shoots, save Curia. She's come up with some great saves.
Yeah, she has. It's a great shot. Just a good save.
Loose ball on the sidelines. Whitty can't control it. It'll go to Bella Vista.
And this is the problem when you play Bella Vista this year. They just frustrate you in every aspect of the game. So even when you think you have just a minute to breathe or a couple seconds to breathe, they are all over you constantly.
Here's Julia. Paige Hackman out front, immediately triple teamed. It looks like she's just drawn herself a shot.
And again, I know we talk about this, but the selfless play. So you have Julia Thomas bringing the ball up. Regan Silvers calls for it because Julia's getting triple teamed. Goes to Regan, right up to Paige. Now we got a shot attempt from the fan.
Paige, right to Curia. Here's Chong. Chong on the move. Can't complete the pass. And that's Waldow. Again, easy to spot with the shoes. Eva Waldow. Good defense by Julia Thomas to jar that one loose. Awesome trying to fight with it, fight for it. Julia's there as well, and Thomas comes up with it. Hackman. Here's Janeway. Janeway looking for the hat trick. Now Wan. Janeway's a junior as well. We'll see her next year. Presley Rocker Hooper. Closed off. Silva. Right out in front. There's a shot that goes wide. Another opportunity for Janeway as we're at 5.5 to go in the third.
Again, working on that pass right in front of the goal. Doesn't always work out in the shot, but the discipline of continuing to try it, it will fall eventually.
Broncos pick up the loose ball. It's Silva. Silva's pass intercepted by Curia. Looks like we might get a crease violation and contact with the stick.
Yep.
And so this will be in possession of Rio Americano. So Curry at a restart.
There are 8 players waiting to come in for Bella Vista.
On the ground. Bella Chong. Loose ball, Sadie Keogh. Again, so much easier to pick up when you don't have somebody harassing you.
I have trouble picking it up just when I'm just, if I borrow Sadie's stick and try. Short-handed situation here for the Broncos.
On the move, there's a shot that goes wide. Avery Lazark is the one that takes the shot there. Rio Americano to bring it in.
Paige Martin with it.
Well, we talk a lot about Paige Martin and her defense and her ground balls. Approaching 30 for the season. All the way back behind the net. There's a shot that goes out of bounds. Broncos to keep possession. Kelly Olson, one of the aforementioned 8 Broncos that came in. Zia Martin's in as well. Maddie Bunsey is also in.
We're down to 3 waiting to go in now, so we're making progress.
Bunsey got the pink shoes going. Silva. Cutting across, Julia doing her thing. Hat trick for Julia Thomas.
Julia Thomas.
I love that play because, one of the things, and we haven't talked a lot about this, but when you are, passing the ball like that, and then you start to go in, you get closed off, and you come out, you really, there's a tendency in lacrosse when you get ready to score, everyone, they do what they call crash, and so they come in, and it bunches everybody up together. So when you move back out, it pulls the defense back apart. Well, what Bella Vista did there is they really slowed everything down, slowed it down, and then sent Julia like a rocket around from the X. She gets it on a full sprint. It's unstoppable. So really good job just kind of mixing it up and looking for, things that maybe don't happen on a regular basis.
Rio in control of this one. Trailing now by 7. On the move, draws a shot. Faith Whitty. She'll get her opportunity from the 8-meter line. Paige Martin setting up just to her left. Emma Rowan's on her right. They'll probably both converge on her once the whistle blows. There's a shot from Whitty. Save, Story Wharton.
Nice job.
Story Wharton figures to be the starter next year after LC Ballard graduates. Or check that. I have her as a junior. Is she back?
No, she's a
next year?
senior.
She's a senior.
Yeah.
Okay. Something's wrong with my roster then. Thought she was a senior.
You are correct. Nice pass to Zia.
Zia on the move. Zia right through a double team. Right out in front. Dispossessed at the last second. Good defense by Rio.
She was hungry, wanted that goal.
She just wants me to keep talking about her green shoes. DiBernardo. On Silva. She step out of bounds, or are they going to call the push on Silva? DiBernardo will bring it in.
What's funny is they called the push on Silva, but the Rio player pushed Silva as they were going out of bounds.
Is it true they always catch the second person?
Beautiful again, Paige Martin.
Paige Martin to Zia Martin.
There was a double team. Paige came in as the triple team, and was
Zia on the move, and again dispossessed at the last second. She'll scoop it up. Zia curling the crease. Gets free. She'll take the shot. One may have hit the post. Broncos with it again.
Tense.
Silva on the move. There's Rowan. Rowan gets a screen from Bunsey. She curls the crease. She's right out in front, dispossessed at the last second. And the final seconds are going to tick off as we've come to the end of the third quarter here at Bella Vista High School. Again, still all Broncos tonight. Just 2 goals in that
Slowed
third
down a
quarter.
little bit.
They're slacking off a little bit.
That's right.
Not at all. I think you're right. It was more of working on some things and getting some of the other players into the game. You mentioned at one point there were 8 players lined up to come in.
Yeah.
5 of them came in. 3 of them, I think, got in later. But we've seen the likes of Zia Martin and Maddie Bunsey and Jilly Bunsey seeing a lot of playing time tonight.
Well, and if we focus in just on Zia Martin for a minute and we can kind of explain what's going on, Zia had the unfortunate experience. She tore ACL, so she missed a lot of last year. Really, really good player. She was doing great on the JV team, tears her ACL out the rest of the year. Now she's back. She's on the varsity, not getting as much play time. So you noticed a couple of times at the third quarter there towards the end, she's coming up with the ball and she's, it's dispossessed. Well, that's a feel thing. But if you're not out there, right, like a Regan Silvers or Julia Thomas, you don't know what that feels like. So the more experience we can give, because she's coming back, right?
Right.
And she has a full year now to play with a healthy knee. So
right.
That's why you do that.
And keeping in mind, too, you look at Paige Martin, Olivia Silva, Paige Hackman, Marilyn Morgan, Maddie Bunsey. I'm just reading them all off that are seniors. Lola Kay, Elsie Ballard, Kate Hooper. There are going to be opportunities next year for Zia Martin to get a lot more playing time. So this is kind of her bounce back from the injury year. She made the move from JV to varsity, as you mentioned, and now this is the chance to kind of get the feel, get the confidence with that knee and play and get the opportunities that she can. She can come up big next year.
Yeah, I mean, and you're going to have a lot of players on the junior varsity team that are going to be coming up next year. I mean, we should mention, I think the junior varsity won 20-0 today against Rio before this. So a lot of good the future is bright for Bella Vista Lacrosse, even when you do this in every sport, when you have seniors and you go, oh, my goodness, the seniors are leaving. But there's a huge bench of juniors and below coming up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that junior varsity team is having itself quite a year as well. Yeah. So we're gonna give you an update on them here in just a second. But you're right, 20-0 over Rio earlier today, and doesn't look like that win has been posted yet. But they are also undefeated. So their win today, they go 10-0, 7-0 in league play.
Yeah.
So if you're a girls lacrosse player at Bella Vista, you're big shots on campus.
Yeah.
Nobody's lost yet. I mean, that is awesome.
It's good to be winning.
Whitty wins that one on the draw. So first possession of the fourth quarter goes to Rio Americano. Whitty getting free. Whitty in front. Draws the foul.
Nice work.
So Faith Whitty, freshman.
It's throwing me off every time you say her name. I work with a Justin Whitty in Fresno, and he has a daughter, but she's not in high school.
Is she tall?
I'm going to have to ask him tomorrow. So you have a cousin, a niece, somebody up here in Sacramento named Whitty? Spelled the same and everything.
And probably that could be the tallest player on the field. I mean, she might be up there with, actually looks like Paige Hackman's just a little taller. Here's Hildebrand. Different number now in goal. A 35 for Bella Vista.
LC's in now.
Okay, so that's a different number.
Yeah, it looks like what we've done here is we've put the starting group out to start the fourth quarter here, probably to give them some time to gel and work on some things and then start mixing it up again.
We're used to seeing Elsie Ballard wear number 28.
Right, yeah.
She's 35 tonight. Here is PRH to RS. No, we won't be giving all the initials. Regan takes a shot. What a save by AC.
You can keep this up all night, can't you?
I probably could. I don't know. Here's Julia. And Julia scores again.
Nothing but power. Number 30, Julia Thomas.
Wow.
So that is her first goal of the fourth quarter. Fourth of the game. 52nd of the year.
And I really like how Coach Hackman does this, because by putting your starting group out late in the game like this to start your fourth quarter, you're letting them have some time to work some things that they maybe needed to improve on in the first quarter, a little bit in the second quarter. Gives them some time to work, gives them some exercise in a game, live game situation, and then you can start mixing things up again. So
the Broncos now at 9-1. By the way, that's the 110th career goal for Julia Thomas. And she's a sophomore. Hackman. You know that teams are going to key on her.
mm-hmm.
Here's Silvers. Silvers. Save Correa. She's made some really good saves tonight.
She's made some good saves, and Regan has been the not the beneficiary of that goal. Those bars are just a millimeter too wide, it seems. She has had some excellent looks, and they just keep hitting the bar.
Here's Juan. And Rocker Hooper. Marilyn Morgan right out in front. Here's Julia. Julia again. My gosh.
Beautiful
Had
block.
3 players on her and still finds the net.
Wow, oh wow. Hat trick for her now, right?
Oh, she's one shy of a sock trick.
Oh, she scores so often I can't even keep track of them all. And with one more goal, we'll be to a running clock to finish this one up tonight.
So we have 9:04 to go in the fourth quarter. And here's Regan Silvers. Silvers getting ready to wind up. She winds up instead with a one-way ticket to the 8-meter line.
The one thing you have to guard against if you're Bella Vista here is frustration starts to mount for your opponent, and they start to get a little sloppy, and that's where injury can happen if you don't stay focused.
Here's Regan. Oh my gosh, another one. Broncos with possession. Janeway. Regan from the X. Regan spins free. The ball is loose. And it is now going to be scooped up by Rio. This is Whitty. Whitty with those long strides. Runs into Sadie Keogh. And we'll get a restart just outside the 12-meter line. And she restarts. Closed off. Now that's inside the 8-meter line, so she's going to get a shot here.
Yep, that's a push.
Go, Faith!
Paige Hackman actually did the exact same thing that Sadie Keogh did with the stick. You can use the stick, but you can't push out with the stick, which is what they both did to try to slow down the attacker.
Faith Whitty Left side of the 8-meter line. She'll take a shot, and she scores. You got to have faith.
Apparently, yeah.
So that's the first time Rio has scored since the first goal of the game. With 7:17 to go.
And now we're starting to see a lot of lineup shift here for Bella Vista and for Rio, both.
Kate Hooper. Will take the draw. Bella Chong on the other end.
Nice job, Kate.
Kate does a really good job, and she scoops that one up. It's a draw control for Kate Hooper. So has a goal tonight.
We were talking about the draw at halftime. That's a great example of an adjustment that she made. She wasn't doing that second move early, but she is now, and then the result of that's Bella Vista controls the draw. So that's why you mix it up.
Correa is going to let this one fly. Good defense as the ball was dispossessed from Whitty, but she gets it back. Foul is called. She'll pick this one up. Zia Martin is there. Kate Hooper is there. Emma Rowan is there. And they force her to retreat. Surza. Surza finds her way through. Surza gets around Martin, but Martin has the last say. And then picks up the ball. Careful not to step out of bounds. Sends this one back to Elsie Ballard.
I don't know that Elsie was ready for that when she threw it. She passed that pretty violently. And
some trouble picking it up, but ultimately that was Rio that comes up with it now. But now BV has it. Here's Zia. Zia triple teamed. Oh, she wants to take that shot.
she wants to score bad. You could see it.
Jogs behind the net. See that knee brace on the knee that she injured last year. Here's Hardman. Oh, Hardman had a chance to attack. Morgan finds the back of the net.
Marilyn Morgan on the assist from number 4, Izzy Hardman.
Another assist for Hardman as well.
I can't underline enough how selfless this team is when they play. They look for where the best opportunity to score is, not, hey, I want to score. They all want to score. We know that. But they look for the best opportunity to score, and that's why I don't know how many goals this year they have scored because somebody has just made one additional pass.
So that goal comes with 5 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Makes it 11-2. We are a Bella Vista goal shy of a running clock the rest of the way. Kate Hooper to take the draw. She wins another one. 2 of her last 2.
Yep, that's all adjustments she's made. Really, really good to see that.
Hardman. Speaking of people that really want to score, but here's a pass right out in front. Looking for Morgan once again, who just scored moments ago. Olsen picks it up for BV. Zia Martin's right out front. Oh, they couldn't get it to her. Rio comes up with it. We're going to get a whistle. It should go Rio's way. Avery Lazark was the one that came up with that one.
But, I mean, you can see, the pass didn't work. Rio gets it immediately. The Rio ball handler is triple teamed. Now they're double teamed.
Broncos force the turnover. Here's Morgan. Scored just moments ago. She's out in front. She's closed off. Hooper. Hardman. Hardman has Rowan on her right. Hooper on her left. Works off a screen. Hardman gets free. She'll take a shot. And a save by
So
Correa.
close.
my
Oh,
goodness.
so close.
I think the whole place would have gone nuts if she had scored that goal. Correa, that one kind of comes out wrong. Morgan comes up with it. Marilyn Morgan, she's in front. Once again, that one's wide. Correa picks it up behind the net. 3:32 to go. Here's Whitty. Rio on the move. You know, watching Rio play, they're not a bad team. They're going to get there.
Yep.
I'm impressed with these players that they have.
Well, and a huge hole for them without Ella Jones.
That's true, yes. DiBernardo. And DiBernardo is going to draw a shot from the 8-meter line. She played varsity as a freshman last year as well. So, I mean, as we talked about, they've got a really good nucleus here. DiBernardo, Kate Hooper from behind, jars that one loose. Hardman, another ground ball tonight. Broncos can keep going here, but I guess they're gonna restart here, or she's just gonna be able to take off with it. Hardman's got to be thinking, why didn't I take up this sport earlier?
Yeah.
She looks really good out there.
Had a similar sentiment from the heavyweight on the wrestling team this year, Ryan Warner, who played basketball his first 3 years, but then wrestled his senior year and said, why didn't I wrestle the whole time? I love this.
Wonder if they'll let him do that in college.
Maybe. Who knows?
Here's Whitty. Again, she's triple teamed. Kate Hooper comes up with this one. Here's Zia.
Zia wants to score.
It's pretty clear. Martin. Lazark has the defense. Martin. Forced behind the net. Works her way from the X. Here's Morgan again. Rowan. Out front, Kate Hooper with a jump swipe at that one. Martin trying to scoop this one up. Among others, Correa finally comes up with it. Kate Hooper's right there. Contact with the stick.
They're going to call that a crease violation, but I
was trying to see if she got in there, but I think she
must
also made contact with the stick.
stick, that must be what it is, because look, she had a foot outside the crease. Ooh, nice stop.
That's deflected. Kelly Olson out front. Morgan closed off once again.
30 seconds to go.
Broncos could be just content to let this one play out and let the clock run out. They are going to go to 13-0 on the year. Maddie Bunsey from the outside. Here's Hardman. Hardman wants the shot. Fakes one way, fakes the other way, gets free. She's going to take the shot, and she scores! Izzy Hardman! That's her first of the year.
And that's going to do it here because there's 6 seconds left and it's a running clock. What a way to end this one.
Indeed. So the clock is going to expire. Goal comes with 6 seconds to go. Izzy Hardman finds pay dirt for the first time this season. She's been working really hard to get that, and she finally finds pay dirt. So she'll be really excited to go home tonight. Probably won't sleep tonight.
No, I mean, and what a storybook ending to that one. Double-digit win again for the Broncos, and just really, really great when you see. I mean, she's had 2 or 3 assists tonight, and then to get a goal right there at the end was just fantastic. So really happy for her, really happy for this team. I know that Coach Lane, the wrestling coach, is tuned in here, so shout out to him. And we talk often with the wrestling team, that, and he'll preach to the kids that the wins and losses don't matter. But, we'll say, but winning's a lot more fun. And that's certainly true tonight for the lacrosse team. So, we care about having good student athletes and good human beings, but this is kind of a historic thing for Bella Vista for their girls lacrosse, and it's really fun to be a part of it.
So the Broncos will have the next week off before they go face Vista del Lago in Folsom, and then the home finale a week from tomorrow as they will be taking on Roseville. So that will be our next broadcast, the game against Roseville Senior Night, Thursday, April 10th. And again, that was originally scheduled for 5:15 p.m. because it was supposed to be a doubleheader with the boys team. Presuming the time on the schedule hasn't changed yet, so we're presuming that is going to be the same time. So hopefully we'll get a chance to hear from Coach Hackman in just a second. And we will get him all set up, and we'll get the get our post-game interview going with Coach Hackman in a few minutes. But a big one coming up next Wednesday.
Yeah, this is really the test, and there's a lot on the line here, because if you win, then you're going to win the league outright, and you're going to get a pretty good seed in the playoff in the section here. I don't know, not as familiar with the playoffs as far as if everybody's together, or if they do it by division, but if everybody's together, if you win the Capital Valley Conference, that likely will get you like a 2 seed. If you split with Vista and you end up second in the league because of point differential, because you and I have looked at this, Vista their point differential would be better throughout the season so far, then that could lower your seed. So,
and I can tell you that if they do beat Vista, they will win the league.
Yeah,
because they will only have 2 more league games after that, and even if they lose those games, they would that would put them at an even record with Vista, and they would have the head-to-head.
That's right, exactly.
So that would actually a win over Vista. So folks, if you're going out to Folsom for the game next Wednesday, a lot riding on it. If Bella Vista wins that game, they win the league.
Yeah,
that's
league
official.
Champs. Yeah,
that is
champs.
official.
Yeah.
And so that's what's on the line next week. And if Vista's watching, we just gave them some luck.
That's right. We gave them a little bit. Yeah.
But that's our job, to report to you what's going on. So so there you have it. So Coach Hackman is now with us, and we just did the math, Scott.
Yeah.
You beat Vista next week, you win the league.
Wow. How fantastic would that be to get a pennant of such a good conference? First year they stood it up. We got to get by Vista. You're right, next Wednesday. That's going to be a huge game at their place. I know they're going to be fired up for it. They're certainly a fantastic team. Wouldn't that be fun, though? I would love that so much.
A lot riding on that game. Of course, it's your next game too, so you can actually focus on them and not worry about other teams that might be in between then and now. You get a week break beforehand, but let's talk. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about tonight. We've got Julia Thomas still doing her thing, but it was really cool to see Izzy Hardman get on the board at the end there.
Oh yeah, Izzy played great. Our second midi line did fantastic. Our first midi line is always, I got to give a first shout out to our first midi line. They're fantastic, and they've had an amazing season. And a game like this where the second midi line stepped up when we really needed them to. We hit some adversity. Rio was playing a really good pressure defense, and Izzy Hardman stepped up. I think she had 2 assists and a goal, so we're really happy for her. Kate Hooper won a lot of balls on the draw. She played fantastic. She was in the right place. She had a goal. And also Emma Rowan on that same midi line played great too. I know with our Instagram post we highlighted the midfield, and they definitely stepped up today.
Very impressive watching, and you did get a chance to get a lot of players into the game today and get them a lot of playing time, which of course not only bodes well for what may happen here in the next few games, but also for those young players who aren't graduating, gets them ready for next year as well.
It does. That was our goal. It's the whole season. It's all about each one of us having individual roles and learning those roles, and then stepping up in game time when you need them. Everyone stayed ready the whole time. Which is what we were harping on. Make sure you're ready for when you're called, and they did. They crushed it today. I wanted to say too, Paige Martin on defense and Sadie Keogh on defense. they were our staples back there. You know, Rio got up really quick, and they locked it in. I know I say that a lot, but I mean, we wouldn't be where we are today without our defense. They stepped up. They were sliding well and winning those ground balls. But yeah, I got to say, Paige Martin, both her and Sadie legged it the whole length of the field, which is always fun to watch. We did start getting them to, hit the outlets in the middle towards at certain parts of the game. But when we needed them, man, they stepped up. I'm so thankful.
How does this sound? 13-0, 11-0 in league.
Wow.
So your league schedule now equals the total number of wins you had last year, and last year was a record.
Yeah. Well, no, right. So just like in my preseason interview, remember that I said our heads down, focused on the goal, and then I look up and see what the record is. Well, I just kind of looked up, and yeah, we definitely set the record for Bella Vista most wins. And it's not even over yet. Like, we got to keep going. What an amazing team. It's all about them. Like, they're just an amazing group. It's fun to watch. It
is, and one of the things that we talked about, and Aaron is on top of it as well, and that is that they're so unselfish. You know, everybody likes to score, but they're looking for that pass. They're looking for that extra pass when somebody else is open.
They are, yeah, and we work on that in practice, but also like today, for example, Regan, I think, hit pipes like 3 times. It was crazy. Paige Hackman hit pipes. The shots weren't falling, right? That happens in sports. That's why we love sports, because then that second group stepped up. Danny Janeway shooting at all different levels today, played great. And then, as you mentioned, George, the assists and just being focused on your teammates, that's what we're all about.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that enough, Scott. You know, the number of times that both, George and I being up here and then at the away games where just because they make one more pass, it results in a goal, right? And that's fantastic to see. It's kudos to you and Coach Thomas for that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it's I love assisted goals. They're my favorite thing. And we do a lot of them, and we try our best to do a lot of them. Sometimes they don't fall, but sometimes we force it. But I'm never going to get upset about like a forced, attempted assist. But I think the group as a whole is working well together. They're enjoying each other's company. We're going to have a nice dinner together on Monday night. There's just a lot of really positive things happening this year. I haven't had much time to reflect a little bit because I'm a foot on the gas kind of guy. But it's just been amazing. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, Scott, congratulations on another one. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Yeah, I mean, man, if we beat Vista, I'm going to go bananas. That's going to be a tough feat on a Wednesday night. And then don't forget senior night on Thursday.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a joyous event.
Yes.
I may have a couple tears, maybe a couple thousand tears, but it's going to be a joyous event. All happy, of course. Go Broncos. We do it for the teachers. Good job, BV.
All right, Scott. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. We will see you next Thursday, and best of luck against Vista Del Lago next week. So the Broncos victorious here tonight, the win, and boy, just 4 games left, one more home game, and a potential league title looming next week.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not love Coach Hackman? I mean, his enthusiasm, his approach to the game. You can tell that those girls really respect him and Coach Thomas and Coach York too. But, it all starts with your head coach. And clearly what he is trying to do is bigger than just win the game. He is trying to help these girls have an experience, and they certainly are having one this year.
He's been part of the program for quite a while, and the head coach for the last 2 years, double-digit wins each season for him as head coach. So that's really impressive.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see the tears flowing a week from tomorrow night, since his daughter's a senior and she'll be one of the ones recognized.
And we ran through them all earlier. Izzy Hardman, Paige Martin, Olivia Silva, continuing on down to Kate Hooper, Marilyn Morgan. We mentioned Paige Hackman, Maddie Bunsey. And then Story Wharton is Story Wharton's next year's goalie. Lola K. Elsie Ballard, who I have it wrong on my roster. I don't know how that happened, but we'll get that fixed. But anyway, so those are your seniors. Those are the ones that are going to be honored next week here for senior night. And again, that is scheduled for a 5:15 opening draw. We will confirm that is still the start time, and we will be bringing that to you. Stay with us. If we're able to get it confirmed at some point, we will talk about it during our next two boys broadcasts, which happen to be coming your way on Friday and Monday. But we'll talk about the girls first. We will next see them. The final live stream for girls lacrosse is next Thursday, April 10th, against Roseville. That is senior night. It is scheduled for a 5:15 start. We will, and we'll probably start earlier than 5:05 because of the senior night festivities that will be going on prior to that game. So stay tuned. Check us out on Facebook. We'll have the updates there as well. And then on Friday night, here, let's talk Facebook first of all. There it is, facebook.com/BV Live Sports, or you can scan the QR code. And again, we'll have the updates there for you, as well as on the YouTube page for BV Live Sports, and during our broadcasts, which are forthcoming. And our next broadcast will be this Friday night. The boys will be taking on West Park. Bella Vista boys winners again today in the afternoon, taking on Rio Americano. It was a 19-1 win over the Raiders over at Rio Americano. They will take on West Park on Friday night with a 7:05 start and a 7:15 opening face-off here, and then Christian Brothers on Monday, which we'll talk more about that coming on Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us for the broadcast tonight. Camera operator Julie Tharlson, our producer is Marlo Mosier. Now speaking for Aaron Keogh, I'm George Tharlson. Have a great night, everyone. 12-2, the Broncos win this one. They are 13-0 on the season. Good night, everyone.